Hey guys, we're here. We'll do something really different, really new. What we're going to do is we're going to focus on sports. We're going to talk about some current events. We're going to talk about the national championship for the women's. We're going to talk a little bit about the Masters. We'll talk a little bit about the Giants. We'll talk a little bit about the Knicks. We're going to current events in sports that's going on. And then down the road, what I will do is I will bring some of my athlete friends in as special guests, and we can pick their brains and see what their thoughts are about the current landscape of what's going on in sports. We'll even talk about, how the kids in college are getting paid and how that affects the sports. Does it change it? Is it good for the game? Is it bad for the game? But, we're going to dive into a little bit of everything. But today, I want to start off by talking about those New York Giants and what are they going to do with their draft pick. Everybody's thinking that maybe it's Shedeur Sanders. I don't know if I would take Shedeur Sanders at that pick, only because he's been guarded by his dad for the last 4 years, and it seems like his dad has protected him from the press. And you don't really get a chance to see him get rattled because daddy's protected him. But what I will say is, if he were to come to this New York market, it's tough, because you are not going to be given a break. They are going to get in your ass. When you're bad, you're bad. When you're good, you're going to be praised. When you're bad, people throwing tomatoes at you when you're walking down Broad Street. So if you think that Shedeur Sanders is a first-round draft choice for the Giants, I would say we pass and we go in a different direction. Only because, you still have Russell Wilson, you got Jameis Winston, and you got, Tommy Cutlets. What are we going to do with him? He's going to be the third string quarterback at this point. But if you draft the quarterback, he's number 4, so he's back on the practice squad. Now, let me touch on Tommy for a second, because I think he's a great story for a hometown kid. I think, everybody in this area, they support him undividedly. Nobody wants to see this kid fail. Local product does good, but the problems are that you already signed 2 quarterbacks to this roster, veterans. And what that means is they are not going to play 4th string. So somebody's got to be the odd man out. I think it'll be Tommy. I think he had a good run, and I think he would be a good quarterback as a backup. But I don't think he's a first, a starting quarterback. I don't think that's in his DNA. But I love, everything that's going on with him. I love the story. Met his mom. She's fantastic. The whole family is, super excited for him. And he's a local, hometown kid. So let's say, Tommy, I'm praying that, you shine a little bit in the preseason. And if you're not on the Giants 53-man roster, maybe you'll impress somebody that they will put you on the 53-man roster. And if not, guess what? There's nothing wrong with being on the practice squad until you find a home in the NFL. So we're done with that. I got to go to change speeds, because I change at the drop of a dime. I want to talk about Geno Auriemma and those the UConn. I mean, whew. Look at what this man has done. I think he is one of the greatest coaches. I don't want to just say college coaches. I think he's one of the greatest coaches of athletes, because he gets the most out of his athletes. And for them to go in there and to dominate, not just win, but completely dominate that game last night, take my hat off to him. Dawn Staley, listen, she was saying a few things that, could not be repeated on live TV. I understand her frustration, but you know what? She was outcoached, and she just faced a group of better players at this point in time. But they did a phenomenal thing. Take my hat off to them, all of the players. I mean, every player. I don't want to single out one player, because it's a team sport, right? And if you single out one person's accomplishments and you leave out somebody else, it's like I'm playing favorites. I don't want to play favorites. I want to say that it was a team effort. They did a great job, and I'm looking forward to next year. Let's change up again. Let's go. Now, this is my sport because I am an avid golfer. So I want to talk about the Masters. I'm going to touch on a little bit of Tiger Woods. And first and foremost, I want to set the record straight. I don't think Tiger's the greatest golfer that's ever lived. Let's set the record straight. I think, if you're going to go for who's the king, well, the king wears the crown. And the crown has 17 majors. That's Jack. If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think Tiger's in top 3. Okay? I'm putting Ben Hogan over him. I'm putting Byron Nelson over him. Hell, I'm putting Bobby Jones over him. But for the era that he came up in and he played, he's an enormous talent. He's a little brash because he feels like he's entitled, and he's not a nice guy when you meet him in person. I didn't think he was that nice. He kind of brushes you off. But talent-wise, can't take anything away from his talent. But did he play against the best talent available when he came on the tour? Don't think so. Most of those guys were older, past their prime. And he came in and he did dominate. He had to play against Ernie Els, Phil Mickelson. Payne Stewart was there for a little bit. Hale Irwin was there for a little bit. But, when you look at the sport as a total, put Tiger in today's talent pool, I don't know if he's the best. Even at his prime, look at Scotty Scheffler, phenomenal. Morikawa, phenomenal. Hovland, Dustin Johnson. All these guys are phenomenal players. But my pick for the Masters is Hideki Matsuyama. This guy is a quiet assassin. He goes about playing a game of golf that is calculated. And the Masters is an endurance race. Because when we look at it, through the TV lens, it looks like it's a nice walk. But from the players that I've talked to and people that have played the course, it is a monster to walk that course for 4 days. So, listen, I would root for Phil Mickelson. I love Phil. But at the same time, the older you get, you just don't have the stamina, you don't have the strength, you don't have the distance. And what's the first thing to go when you get older in golf? Your nerves. So that putting stroke is not as silky smooth as it once was. So I'm looking for a real good Masters. You get a chance to see all the guys that went from the PGA to live. So we get a chance to get Bryson DeChambeau back. We get Brooks Koepka back. I'm trying to think. What is his name? He's just driving me nuts. We always call him the cheater because he moved the ball in the sand. I'll think of it. I'll get back to him, but we know him as the cheater. Listen, I love him. Patrick Reed, sneaky Patrick Reed, but he is full of fire. We get Jordan Spieth out there. We would love to see Jordan Spieth come back because his whole career has kind of fell apart after he dumped it in the pond and just couldn't get back on track. 3 years in a row, he's played well at the Masters, but he's never gotten that touch. He's never gotten that feel back. Another guy that I look to see something, Justin Thomas. Would love to see JT come out there and play a great round at the Masters and then take that one great round and turn it into 4 phenomenal rounds. Love to see him come out there and do it. Rory McIlroy, we need one to complete the Grand Slam. Everybody thinks that Rory McIlroy is the choke artist. I think Rory McIlroy may be one of the greatest talents. If he's on all cylinders, I don't think there's anybody on the tour that can touch him. Scotty Scheffler, hometown kid. I'm from Jersey, so you know what? We got to support our Scotty Scheffler. But it's tough because to repeat at the Masters, everything's got to go your way. Everything's got to go your way. But I'm looking for a phenomenal round, 4th round. I'm looking for Hideki Matsuyama to come through with a victory. I'm looking for him to be behind, maybe 2 to 3 strokes in the final round, and just let that magic come out and give him another jacket. So if that happens, you heard it here. I picked Hideki Matsuyama. Let's talk about your Knicks, the New York Knicks. Now, I am not the biggest New York Knicks fan, although I would love to see them succeed because they are the team that has all the hype. This is the birthplace of basketball, right? Rutgers Park. If this is the home, if this is the birthplace, how come none of the big stars want to come here to get a title? LeBron didn't come. Michael didn't come. Kobe didn't come. Why? Because the pressure of playing in the Big Apple is tough. When you're winning, everybody loves you. When you lose, guess what? Nobody wants to know you. You're not getting a free dinner. You're going to be criticized everywhere you go. And the press is going to be on your ass like white on rice. So that's something that Jalen Brunson, guess what? He's the face of the team. I don't care about Cat Williams. Cat Williams is a great talent, but Jason Brunson got hurt. Where did the team go? They've kind of slipped back down the ladder. But I think that the Knicks will make it to the playoffs, and I think they'll have a decent run. I just don't think they're quite there talent-wise, because you got to deal with everybody else in the league, and there are just so many teams that have great talent that mesh together at the right time. Look at Golden State. They added Jimmy Butler to the roster, and look at how the dynamics of that team has changed. They're on a run. Jalen Brunson, not at his best as far as health. We have a Big Cat. We got Hart, Anunoby. Those guys are talented. They're great. But look at how lackluster they've been the last few games that they were out there. Yeah, they skirted past I think the Hawks. They skirted past the Hawks. That was a nice win. But are the Hawks an NBA championship team? I don't think so. My prediction for the title, I'm going to say Oklahoma Thunder is really, really good. They are phenomenal. But then again, I watched the Cleveland Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell, this kid is on fire. I love the dynamics of the team. The big man down in the middle, I just love the fro, okay? I love the fro down in the center. I love the point guard. He just plays a phenomenal game, and he knows how to distribute that ball. He shares it. He's not, and Donovan Mitchell, he doesn't hog the ball, but he is a phenomenal talent. So I'm looking for the Cleveland Cavaliers to come off and pull off a victory, and not that LeBron bring a championship home, but I think that Donovan Mitchell will bring a championship to Cleveland. But I think they got, Oklahoma's a tough team. I mean, Oklahoma's tough. Boston is tough. Boston's really tough. The Lakers, I think that they're going to make a run, right? But I just don't think that they have the horsepower. LeBron James is getting old. Austin Reeves, phenomenal talent. But I don't think they're quite there, right? Who's coming off the bench? We definitely know it's not Bronny James, because Bronny James, by all rights, probably shouldn't even be in the NBA. But that's another story for another day. What else do I want to touch on today? I'm going to try and get a little bit of every sport in, right? I want to touch on Ovechkin, right? Now, we all think of hockey. Who do you think of? The great one, Gretzky. But Ovechkin has surpassed the great one. So is he the second greatest, or is he now considered the great one? I think what he has done is phenomenal. I think what Gretzky did, Gretzky elevated the sport and made hockey more viewed by the general public. I mean, you always had your diehard hockey fans that would go and support the games, support the sports, support the stars during every era. But Wayne Gretzky was just like a Michael Jordan on skates. The things that he was able to do, and he was the golden boy. So Wayne Gretzky, in my eyes, I'm still going to say he is the great one, because I don't think anybody else has elevated or bring more money, or bring more revenue and put more money in the players' pockets than what Gretzky did. It's the same as Michael Jordan with the NBA, Tiger Woods with the PGA. You need somebody that comes along and has the intrigue and has the support and the love of all of the fans, all of the sponsors, that they really want to push and give more. So these players, take your hat off to Ovechkin. Take your hat off to him, but pay homage to the great one. So Wayne Gretzky, you're still going to be the great one, but Ovechkin, it's your evening, it's your night, it's your week, it's your month, it's your year. It's celebrated. You have done it all. And the guy's got like teeth missing in the front. Like, look at the smile. Now, the great one, he was protected. He wasn't a fighter. He has all of his pearly whites intact. So the great one was protected. He's still the great one in my eyes. And let's see if how much longer Ovechkin plays. And I wish him nothing but success. What can we touch on? Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm a little controversial. Just a little bit. So when I get on a topic, I'm going to speak my mind. I'm not apologetic about my viewpoint. I'm a Philadelphia Eagle fan. Okay, fly birds fly, right? Fly birds fly. Even though one of my best friends is New York Giant legend O.J. Anderson, Super Bowl MVP. Two-time Super Bowl champion, scored in both Super Bowls, which that's something that not too many people can say. And we agree to disagree, right? I go to your house, Giant Stadium, that's your house. I'm not going to be representing my Philadelphia Eagle colors while I'm in your house. I have that much respect for them. But outside, I don't care whether we're sitting in a restaurant, we're sitting at a sports bar. Guess what? I'm going to put my point of view out there. And guess what? If he doesn't like it, he can get up and walk off, or he can sit down and debate me back and forth. But I think those Philadelphia Eagles did something. They shocked the world. And me being an Eagle fan, I didn't even think, I'll be honest, I didn't think we could do it. I thought Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and that crew that they have, Travis Kelce, they just have a phenomenal team. I just didn't think that we had the experience to get it done. But they shocked me, and they showed you they are here to stay. They're here to stay. So I don't care what kind of fan you are. The Eagles are here to stay. We're not going nowhere. We're the dirty birds, baby. Dirty birds don't run. And dirty birds, we fly over everything that hangs low. Low-hanging fruit, we're here to stay. So my prediction is, I don't know that we can win another Super Bowl back-to-back. I think that we can come close. And guess what? Maybe we get lucky enough and we do get it done. So I'm a big Eagle fan, but I'm looking forward to the draft coming up. I think it's on the 24th, if I'm not mistaken. It's somewhere around there. And one of my friends, Rodney Hampton, number 27, New York Giants, Georgia Bulldog, legend, will be coming up to Jersey for the draft. So I'm hoping that if I can snag him, and have him come in here and join us for a little bit, and we can talk a little bit of NFL, or we can touch on, a little bit of what he thinks about how the game is played, how the kids are being played, how the kids are being paid today, instead of, you get your scholarship, you work your tail off, and you hope like hell you get drafted. I'm a big proponent in paying the kids. Right? I think that if a college can make millions upon millions of dollars off of your hard work, your sweat, and the injuries that you occur over the lifetime of playing this game, because football is like two cars having a collision each and every play. So I think if the kids can get the money while you can get it while it's there, right? The colleges have been benefiting for years and years and years and years. And some of these kids, they can't even afford to go out and buy pizza because they're broke. But yet their jerseys are selling for $100, $150. To me, that's not cool. That's crap. Pay the kids. Pay the kids. And now guess what? Does that change the dynamic of the sport? Yes, it does. Because it changes the dynamic inside the locker room. Inside that locker room, I might be the star player. I may have the endorsement dollars. And You may be my offensive lineman. You may be my running back. You may be my safety. You might be my center. You might be the punter. They all believe that they deserve something too, but not everybody's going to get. So because it's not distributed evenly, we're going to have a problem with the dynamics and some of the relationships on the team. So that chemistry might not be where we want it to be. Okay? Just might not be where we want to be. Yesterday, I was having a little bit of a heated discussion with a friend of mine who thinks it's horseshit to have players being paid. He thinks that they don't deserve to be paid. They are going there, they're playing a game. They don't deserve the money that they're earning because there are doctors, there are lawyers, there are judges, there are nurses that are saving lives, making changes in this country, and they believe that they should be paid more. I'm not of that opinion. I'm of the opinion it's called demand and supply. If you get 75,000 people to show up and pay the ticket price, pay the parking fees, pay for the hot dogs, the beverages, pay for the jerseys. They're making a boatload of money. Those kids are bringing the fans there every single week. Guess what? Their pay is a reflection of the demand that they've created. We don't get mad at Brad Pitt, George Clooney. We don't get mad at them for making $20 million a movie, right? We don't get mad at the president for making however much he makes a year. We don't get mad at the senators. We don't get mad at the judges for how much they make. But guess what? We get mad at an athlete because he's a kid and he shouldn't be paid to play because he's getting an education. Well, what happens if he gets hurt? His career is ended. What does that do for him? Does the scholarship hold through? How about if he gets kicked off the team? Scholarship hold through? Where is he at? He's stuck. So I say pay these kids, right? Pay them. Kids have been paid. Let me be real. Kids have been being paid to play sports forever. And everybody turns a blind eye and acts like it just happened, it's just starting now. These scandals haven't taken place in the 40s and the 50s. Yes, I know of athletes that were paid to turn on the lights to the gym. Well, guess what? What do you think boosters do? How do these kids are driving around in new cars, new clothes, jewelry? How do you think it happens? It doesn't just, one day you wake up and all of a sudden your bank account has money in it. No, people are paying you because of your performance. People are paying you. And yes, there are people that pay you to lose games. Guess what? Sports, that's the nature of the game. That's the nature of the game. It don't. So we need the kids to continue to do what they're doing. Hell, pay them. I think that every kid should have a contract along with a 4-year guaranteed scholarship so that if anything happens, that scholarship is intact. I don't think that the coaches should be a god in college sports because that coach, he dictates what you do, how you do it, and where you're going to do it. I think each kid should have a guaranteed 4-year ride. And it doesn't make a difference if he goes into the transfer portal and transfers to another team. That should still be intact from the day one until he graduates. So until the next time, let's go Gators. Let's go Gators. Let's go. All right, baby.